What if one of the most dangerous fugitives in the Western Hemisphere was operating in silence, hidden between borders, controlling drugs, extortion, and murder networks without ever showing his face? Today's story is about a man whose name became known only after international law enforcement placed him among the most wanted criminals. His name is Giovanni Vicente Mosquera Serrano, also known as El Viejo. Authorities describe him as a senior leader of the feared criminal organization, Tren de Aragua gang that expanded from Venezuelan prisons into multiple countries. From the streets of Venezuela to Colombia and into the radar of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This is the story of power, fear, and international crime. Early life and origins. Giovanni Vicente Mosquera Serrano was reportedly born on February 22, 1988, in Mosque, a city in the Venezuelan state of Aragua. Wikipedia. Mosque has long been known as an important urban center, but over time it also became linked to the rise of organized crime, especially with the growth of prison-based gangs. Little is publicly known about his childhood, education, or family life. Like many criminal figures, his past remains covered in secrecy, but investigators believe he emerged from the same criminal ecosystem that later gave birth to one of Latin America's most feared gangs. That gang was Tren de Aragua. What is Tren de Aragua? To understand Mosquera Serrano, we first need to understand the gang behind him. Tren de Aragua reportedly began in the Venezuelan state of Aragua and gained power around the notorious Tocoran prison. The name means Tratagua, believed to have roots linked to railway workers and criminal groups that later evolved into a larger syndicate. Over time, the organization expanded into drug trafficking, human smuggling, extortion, kidnapping, money laundering, contract killings. Authorities in several countries say the gang spread through migration routes and weak border controls. It became active in countries including Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Chile, Ecuador, Brazil, and beyond. By 2025, U.S. authorities formally labeled the group a dangerous transnational threat. Global Security, de Mancal del Viejo. Within this network, Giovanni Vicente Mosquera Serrano was allegedly known by the alias El Viejo, meaning the old man. Nicknames in criminal organizations often represent rank, fear, or authority. Authorities claim he became an influential operator linked to narcotics movement, financial management, extortion systems, violent enforcement. According to U.S. Treasury statements, he allegedly oversaw drug trafficking, operations, and murders in Colombia on behalf of the gang. Global Security. He was not just a street-level criminal. He was described as someone managing money, networks, and power. That makes him more dangerous than visible gunmen, because hidden bosses are often the hardest to capture. Operations in Colombia. Authorities believe Mosquera Serrano played a major role in expanding gang influence into Colombia. Why Colombia? Because Colombia has important trafficking routes, urban migrant communities, smuggling corridors, access towards Central America and beyond. Reports linked him to extortion of business owners, especially in urban areas. Some victims allegedly received threats demanding payments. Officials also accused him of coordinating criminal cells without appearing directly in public. This kind of structure makes arrests difficult. The leader remains hidden, while lower-level members take the risks. Colombian and international agencies began tracking these networks more aggressively in 2024 and 2025. U.S. indictment and sanctions. In June 2025, the pressure exploded. The United States Department of the Treasury announced sanctions against Giovanni Vicente Mosquera Serrano. Authorities said he was involved in drug trafficking, financial operations for the gang, extortion systems, support for criminal activity. Sanctions meant any assets under U.S. jurisdiction could be frozen, and Americans were prohibited from doing business with him. Global Security. At nearly the same time, prosecutors in Texas unsealed charges involving international cocaine conspiracy, material support, allegations linked to a designated foreign terrorist organization. This elevated the case from ordinary organized crime to a major national security issue. FBI Most Wanted list. Then came the biggest moment. The Federal Bureau of Investigation placed him on the 10 Most Wanted Fugitives list. That list has historically included serial killers, mob bosses, and international fugitives. Being added means authorities consider the target extremely dangerous or highly significant. Polícia Federal Norte-Americana also announced a multi-million-dollar reward for information leading to his arrest. Wikipedia. This made Mosquera Serrano one of the highest-profile alleged gang fugitives in the Americas. For a man who stayed in the shadows, his face was now everywhere. Why he matters globally. The story of Giovanni Vicente Mosquera Serrano is bigger than one man. It reflects how modern criminal groups operate. Today's gangs are not local street crews. They are cross-border enterprises with financial networks, recruitment systems, technology uzi, corrupt contacts, regional expansion strategies. One hidden operator can influence crimes across several countries. That is why governments are now treating these organizations as transnational security threats. Where is he now? As of the latest public reports, authorities believed he may have moved between Venezuela and Colombia, though exact details remain uncertain. Denver Gazette. Fugitives of this level often rely on fake ID, safe houses, corrupt protection, border movement, cash networks. But international attention makes hiding harder. Every arrest of an associate narrows the circle. Every financial sanction creates pressure. Every public image increases recognition. Giovanni Vicente Mosquera Serrano represents a new era of organized crime. Silent leaders, cross-border networks, invisible power. From Mosque to the FBI Most Wanted list, his story shows how quickly local gangs can become global threats. But one question remains. Will he remain a ghost in the shadows? Or will law enforcement finally catch him? If you enjoyed this deep documentary, like the video